Hello, good morning. Today we are going to share about more in detail on the application of letter of administration or LA when a person passes away without a will. When a person passes away without a will in West Malaysia, this is the situation that will happen. There are three situations here that I can see. The first situation here is the person passed away without a will and his total asset is less than 600,000. And that 600,000 is only made up of all the movable asset. When I say movable asset, it means all the cash, bank, stock, share, no property. Then he can go to Amanah Raya to apply this document called letter of administration. In the second scenario is where he has a house and some movable asset, but the total value is less than 2 million. Then in that case, the family member can go to the local district court or the land office to apply this document called letter of administration. In the third situation is where the deceased left behind no will and the total asset is more than 2 million, which can be made out of movable and immovable asset. Then they need to engage a lawyer to put a petition at the High Court to apply this document called letter of administration. But before whoever can apply this letter of administration, we need to get consent from the legal beneficiary of the deceased. For example, if a husband passes away, the husband parents, the husband wife or the spouse, the husband children, if there are, all of them have to give consent to a person called administrator. The administrator appointed is to manage the deceased asset who has no will. And this administrator appointed can come from the family member and can come from outside people. Okay, so the first criteria that the family must fulfill is 100% consent from all the legal beneficiary of the deceased, whether to apply at Amanah Raya, apply a small estate claim at the land office or at the High Court. In the case when you apply letter of administration at High Court, there is another additional requirement which is called guarantor or surety. The administrator who is going to manage the asset of a person who has more than 2 million and the application is at the High Court, surety is required. And these two surety are required, and these two surety has to have the same amount of asset as the deceased. For example, if this person passed away with 10 million worth of asset, then the family member or the administrator have to find two persons who has 10 million worth of asset as guarantor. This is the additional requirement when you apply letter of administration at the High Court. Okay, so when you apply letter of administration, and the administrator will be given this letter of administration, and the job of the administrator is similar to the executor. He has to do several things like settlement of debts and everything, and finally whatever left behind will be following the Distribution Act 1958. The Distribution Act 1958 says that if a person dies without a will, his parents get quarter share, his spouse get quarter share, and his children will share equally half of it. So that is a distribution that's a distribution under the Distribution Act. And if there is this person is not married at all, then 100% will go to the parents. The parent is a rightful owner. That's why you see, when you do not write a will, it will follow your asset distribution will follow the Distribution Act. There's no other way you can go around unless you have a will. And when you apply, when the letter of administration is applied and extracted from the High Court, the administrator need to apply another document called distribution order. And in the distribution order, it will state who is the rightful owner under the Distribution Act. And the administrator has to distribute the asset after all the settlement of the debts or whatever, according to the Distribution Act. So that is why when you apply letter of administration, there is a little bit troublesome and a little bit lengthy, take longer time, because the first criteria we need the family mate to go through is 100% consent from the legal beneficiary, which is required. And second will be the appointment or the appointment of the guarantor or get to guarantor in order to support the application. That's why without a will, when you apply letter of administration, it takes longer time to fulfill all these documents. And finally, the distribution will be following the Distribution Act 1958. I will share more on all this in more detail in the coming episode. Thank you for listening today. Thank you.